a very good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen, watching in live on our YouTube live stream for today's broadcast of the game between your Highland Hawks and the rival Gilbert Tigers. We're picking this one up in the top half of the second inning. Your Hawks already lead 1-0. An RBI double by Caleb Herbert in the bottom half of the first, as that one's grounded to the second baseman today. That is Herbert. He fires on to first, and there is one away. Hawks lead 1-0. Again on an RBI double by Herbert. Mason Trail on the hill for the Hawks today in the first inning. He struck out two, both looking, and got the fifth hitter in the order to ground into a fielder's choice with runners on first and second. And now that we've got some time, let's meet the lineup for the Gilbert Tigers and what they've done thus far. Justin Mangonia is at the plate right now. He takes a strike from Mason Trail. But at the top of the order, it's Ryan Meyer. He plays second base today as Mangonia grounds one up the middle for a base hit. Hitting second is the center fielder Tyler Morris. He singled in the first. Hitting third, the catcher Jose Bolivar. He was one of the strikeout victims. Bryce Olm, the third baseman, hits fourth and plays third base. Hitting fifth is Vicente Cordova. He grounded into a 6-5 fielder's choice in the first. He plays first base. Hitting sixth was just Justin Mangonia. He's the shortstop in today's contest, as that one gets away from Score, and Score can't find it. It's back at the backstop, and Mangonia is going to get to second base. So that was actually Brandon Drew at second base. Okay, folks, so after some confusion, it was Justin Mangonia who grounded out to Caleb Herbert to start the inning off. At the plate just then with the single was Brandon Drew. He bats seventh and plays left field. And now at the plate is a designated hitter, Matthew Manger. He hits eighth, and rounding things out and on deck now for the Tigers is Drew Hudson. We apologize for the confusion, ladies and gentlemen. But in the field for your Hawks, it's a little shaken up today, as Manger swings and misses, and it gets through the catcher's Score. Manger is going to reach on a drop third strike. And Drew goes into third on the passed ball. So now it's Drew Hudson at the plate. But in the field for the Hawks, again, a little bit shaken up. Connor Cullimore gets to start in left field today. Alec Deaton in center. Dakota Thornton in his usual spot in right. That's about the only usual spot for anybody on the field today. Lucas Hamza is at third. Connor Webster plays short. Caleb Herbert we saw at second base. And Trey Cutchin is at first. Tanner Score behind the plate. And Mason Trail is on the hill for the Hawks. Trail in a little bit of trouble here. First and third with one out. And the 9-hitter Hudson at the plate. A very windy day here in Gilbert, as you might be able to hear on the broadcast. Definitely gusty up here in the press box. It's an open press box here at Hawks Field. So we apologize for any wind sound that you may get on the broadcast, but Hudson pops one up in center field, and it carries over Deaton's head. So Drew is going to come home to score and tie the game, and they're going to wave Manger around. The throw to the plate in plenty of time, but it gets through Score. And 2 runs come home, and Gilbert takes a 2-1 lead. Well, Matthew Manger, the DH, a slower guy rounding the bases, but he was picking it up and putting it down around third base. The throw from center field definitely had Manger beat, but it got through Score as both runs come in, and it's 2-1 Gilbert. And Drew Hudson will be credited with a 2 RBI double. Now it's back to the top of the order for Ryan Meyer. Meyer struck out looking to start the ball game off. Trail delivers a fastball that's in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Definitely a difficult week thus far for the Hawks. On Tuesday at Desert Ridge in Mesa, the Hawks played a very, very hard-fought game that ended up as a 15-14 loss in 7 innings. Desert Ridge eventually, after 3 Dakota Thornton home runs, one was a 2-run shot, a 3-run shot, and a grand slam, just needed the solo home run for the elusive home run cycle. Anyway, the Hawks dropped it 15-14 after they were walked off in the bottom of the 7th inning. They went into that inning leading 14-13. It was a back-and-forth affair as Myers swings and misses, and there are 2 away. The Hawks, you definitely tell after the game it was a tough one for them to swallow against Desert Ridge, a team who they had on the ropes last Friday here at home. They led them into the top of the 7th inning. It was a 5-3 ball game, 5-4 ball game on Friday. And Desert Ridge put up a 6th spot in the 7th and ended up winning the game 10-5. So a difficult 6 days for Highland. They look for a win here against their crosstown rivals, the Gilbert Tigers. 0-1 swung on and missed. And it's 0-2. Tyler Morris at the plate. He singled his first time up. Advanced to second and was eventually forced out at third on a Vicente Cordova 6-5 fielder's choice. The pitch from Trail swung on, ground to the third baseman Hamza, who puts a glove on it. Can't find it now, and everybody's going to be safe. If I was doing the official scoring there, I would give Tyler Morris a hit, and it looks like that's what they're going to do on the scoreboard. So a single. And now it is first and third with 1 man out for the 3-hitter Jose Bolivar, the catcher. Bolivar, his first time up, struck out looking. Now he's going to have a chance to drive at least 1 more run in with 2 away. Trail misses outside, and it's 1-0. The outs in the inning, both actually, one out in the inning on a ground out and the other on a strikeout. Technically, there are 3 outs in the inning. Matthew Menger, the designated hitter, reached on a drop strike 3, so the Hawks forced to get 4 outs in the inning, and it's looking like it might hurt Trail here. A 2-0 count to Jose Bolivar. And Trail throws back to first. It gets away. A run's going to come in to score. That's Drew Hudson. And the runner at first, Tyler Morris, will take third. He'll round third. And the ball will be cut off at the plate by Tanner Score. So some sloppy baseball possibly affected by the wind here to start things off in the 2nd inning for the Hawks, as it's now a 3-1 ball game. And the 4th run for the Tigers is 90 feet away, and Jose Bolivar didn't really need to do anything to get him there. That one popped up right to us here. Going to get over our head and into the parking lot. Count is 2-1. Bryce Olm, the cleanup hitter, is on deck. He plays third base today. Bolivar takes his strike, and it's 2-2. Good fastball on the inside half there by Trail. All things considered, it is a beautiful day here in Gilbert. Just very windy and very dusty. Definitely does cool things down a bit. Bolivar lifts one into left field, and Cullimore is there and makes the play. So the inning is over, but the Tigers push across 3, and they lead it by 2 here. It's a 3-1 ball game. We'll head to the bottom half of the 2nd, where Connor Cullimore will lead things off for the Hawks when we come back. Back now for the bottom half of the second inning here in Gilbert. The Hawks paying host to their crosstown rival Gilbert Tigers. And Connor Cullimore leads things off here in the bottom of the second inning, but we did miss the bottom half of the first. The Hawks scored one run on an RBI double by Caleb Herbert. Out on the hill for Gilbert is Justin Gotardi. Gotardi fires in a ball, and it is 1-0. But for the Hawks, in the first inning, Connor Webster led off. And he reached on an error. He eventually came around to score on the double. But Cullimore lifts one into right center field. That's going back, and it's gone! Connor Cullimore! In the wind that is blowing out to straightaway center field. Cullimore gets one to carry over, and the Hawks get one back. It's 3-2 on the solo shot by Cullimore. A one-run ball game thanks to the left fielder Cullimore, who has been heating up lately. Started the season off kind of slow. Leads the team in strikeouts, but that's definitely a good sign if you're a Hawks fan. Cullimore with a solo shot there, his first of the season. And now it's Tanner Score, the catcher. He's hitting eighth. So as we were saying, to the top of the order, Webster leading off and playing shortstop. He reached on an error. Trey Cutchin playing first base and hitting second as Gotardi misses with a curveball. Cutchin in the first walked. Lucas Hamza playing third base this afternoon. He lined out in the first. Dakota Thornton cleans up and plays right field. He's singled. And reached on a 9-6 fielder's choice. It was a blooper to shallow right center, where Cutchin had to hold up. He was thrown out at second. As Score takes a strike, and it's 2-1 now. But Thornton bats fourth and plays right field. Caleb Herbert, who had the RBI double, hits fifth and plays second base. Alec Deaton playing center field today, hitting sixth. He struck out, and that ended the top half of the first. Connor Cullimore, you just saw, hit a solo home run to lead off the bottom half of the second. And Tanner Score at the plate. He hits eighth, and he's catching. Score gets into one. Deep left field, turning around the left fielder, Drew. And at the warning track, he can't make the play. It trickles off of Brandon Drew's glove, and Score is going to get into third standing up. And he's 7. And that should be ruled a two-base error. And the Hawks now, after the solo home run by Cullimore, get one up into the wind again, and Drew can't handle it. So a man on third for today's starting pitcher, Mason Trail. He rounds things out for the Hawks. And still nobody out in this inning. Gotardi into his windup the pitch. Curveball missed outside, 1-0. Always hard to pitch in the wind and play baseball in this kind of wind, especially in high school. You don't really practice when it's this windy outside. As Trail lifts one right side into the parking lot, and it's 1-1. But for Justin Gotardi, on the hill on the year, a 5.50 ERA. He's 2-3 in 7 appearances. And in 6 of those appearances, he's made a start. Gotardi, 34 1/3 innings. He's definitely their horse out there. It's about 49 hits. 36 runs have come across on him, 27 of those earned. 10 walks on the year and 20 strikeouts. He's faced 170 batters in total. And Trail grounds one to the second baseman. And he gets the run across. Ryan Meyer throws on to Vicente Cordova at first. But Score's pinch runner Rylan Patterson comes in to score, and the Hawks tie it up at 3. Back to the top now for Connor Webster after the RBI ground out by Mason Trail. Again, Webster, well, it was initially ruled an error, but Now on the board, it looks like they've credited Webster with the hit to lead off the top half of the first as he lays down a bunt foul there. It's 0-1. So Webster now officially 1 for 1 on the day with a single. Came around to score that first run out of the ball game. If you're just joining us, a 3-3 tie after Highland got one in the bottom half of the first inning, an RBI double by Caleb Herbert. And to start off the bottom of the second, Connor Cullimore, a solo shot to right center field. And just then Mason Trail with the RBI ground out. 3 runs came in for the Tigers in the top half of the second. But the Hawks have tied it back up. It's an 0-2 count to Webster. Here's the pitch. Missed outside. And it's 1-2. Gutardi from the windup. Kicks and delivers. Swung on, lifted into left field. The wind has been trouble for Brandon Drew. This time it is not, however, as he camps under it and makes the play without any issues. And there are 2 away. And now it's Trey Cutchin, who's seeing time in the 2-hole for the second straight game. Hits second on Thursday against Desert Ridge as well. Cutchin gets to start at first base today. Again, if you're just joining us, a defensive shakeup for the Hawks. Around the infield, it's Hamza at third, Webster at short, Herbert at second, and Cutchin at first. So all the usual suspects in the infield, but they're rattled around a little bit. Manager Scott Cook getting them some different looks as Cutchin swings and misses, and it is 1-1. Hamza, obviously the normal first baseman. Cutchin, the normal second baseman. He lifts one into left field, and Brandon Drew will make the play. So the Hawks get 2 more. A solo home run by Connor Cullimore and an RBI ground out by Mason Trail. Game is tied at 3. We'll head to the top of the third where the Tigers will lead things off with their cleanup hitter Bryce Olm when we come back. Back for the top of the third as Gilbert, third baseman Bryce Olm, leads things off. Walked in his first plate appearance. That was back in the top of the first. And Olm takes a strike on the inside half to start off his second at-bat of the ball game. It's 0-1. Pitch from Trail. This is low and inside. And it's 1-1. So far for Trail, 3 runs have come across. It's given up 4 hits to the Gilbert Tigers as Olm fouls one off and Trail gets ahead 1-2. Three ball game here in inning number 3. Pitch from Trail. Misses outside, and it's 2-2. For the Hawks, just 4 more ball games total for them on the season. Tomorrow we will be back here with another live stream as Trail gets ready. Holmes swings and fouls one off of his ankle, and the count stays at 2-2. Tomorrow it's another one here against Mountain Point. The Hawks beat Mountain Point earlier in the season, 16-9 on the road. As Holmes swings and grounds one to the shortstop Webster, who makes a backhanded play, throws across his body, but it's not in time to get Holmes. So an infield single for the third baseman Holmes. And now it's Vicente Cordova, the Tiger first baseman. A great effort at shortstop by Webster. Just couldn't get up and make the tough throw in time. So now it's Cordova who takes a ball, and it's 1-0. Back to the schedule for the Hawks. Again tomorrow, as Trail almost gets Ulm at first base on the pickoff move. Tomorrow against Mountain Point here. That is at 4 p.m. Next Tuesday, Highland is on the road against this Gilbert team. That'll be a radio broadcast over on mixler.com/HighlandHawks. That's also at 4. On Thursday, that's the last home game of the season for the Hawks as they pay host to the Corona del Sol Aztecs, also at 4 o'clock. And on Friday, the final game of the season will be the second half of a back-to-back against Corona del Sol. Highland will travel to Tempe to play that one at 4 p.m. as well. 3-1 now to Vicente Cordova. Cordova grounded into a fielder's choice to lead things, or in the top half of the first inning. Cordova now lifts one into left center field. He gets down for a single. So first and second now with nobody away for the Tigers to start the top of the third. Now it's Justin Mangonia. Mangonia led off the top of the second with a 4-3 ground out. He now has a chance with 2 on and nobody out to make something happen for the Tigers. 3-3 ball game. That's the 6th hit of the day for Gilbert. Mangonia swings, grounds one to the third baseman Hamza, who fires on to Herbert at second, but he won't have time to get Mangonia at first. So a 5-4 fielder's choice there as Ulm moves into third and Mangonia reaches. Now it's the left fielder Brandon Drew. Singleton scored his first time. First and third, one away. Hawks playing in double play depth in the infield. As Drews takes a strike there, and it's 0-1. Outfield playing pretty standard depth. Deaton playing a couple of steps left of the second base bag if you are looking at the field from behind home plate. The 1-1 from Trail, swung on and missed by Drew, and it's 1-2. This would be a big out here for Mason Trail if he can get it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Swung on and missed. And there are 2 away. Trail's 5th strikeout of the game, but the 4th that actually netted him an out on the scoreboard. And the guy walking up to the plate now, Matthew Menger, was one of those strikeout victims, but he reached because of a drop third strike. The ball got through Tanner's score, and he came around to score as a result. Menger swings, grounds one to the second baseman Herbert, flips on to the shortstop Webster, and the side is retired. Nothing for the Gilbert Tigers in the top half of the third. Score still tied at 3. We'll be right back. Bottom three coming at you from Gilbert, Arizona. The Hawks paying host to the Gilbert Tigers. Game tied at 3. It's Lucas Hamza, the third baseman for Highland today. Leads things off, takes his strike, and it's 0-1. Justin Gotardi still out on the mound. He's only allowed 3 hits today, but 3 runs. Hamza lifts one into deep left center and off the left field wall. Hamza rounding first, digging for second, and he is in there standing safely. A leadoff double for Lucas Hamza, and the Hawks offense is back in business here in the bottom of the third. Well, Highland not having much of an issue getting the bat on the ball this afternoon. And with that wind blowing out today, ball is definitely carried, as we've seen with Caleb Herbert's double in the first, as well as Connor Cullimore's leadoff homer in the second. So Lucas Hamza, 180 feet from scoring, as Gotardi, a nice curveball in there for a strike against Dakota Thornton. Let's talk about Dakota Thornton, ladies and gentlemen. An unbelievable ball game on Tuesday, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, as he takes a ball there, and it's 1-1. Thornton had 10 runs batted in, 10, against the Desert Ridge Jaguars. He had 3 home runs, a 2-run home run, a 3-run home run, and a grand slam. Swinging a hot bat there, as he'll drive in Hamza. The ball gets through Drew and to the wall, and Dakota Thornton has an RBI double. So Dakota Thornton keeps things up, and the Hawks now lead 4-3. Thornton all year has been one of their most consistent hitters on the season, hitting .455, almost up to .500 on the year. Thornton, one of the players on this Hawks roster who is going to be playing some college baseball after he graduates. Lucas Hamza, the other. Caleb Herbert in the box now. He takes his strike, and it's 0-1. Gotardi in there with a strike, and now Thornton's caught in the middle of second and third. He's going to take off for third. The ball gets over second base. Thornton's going to try to come around to score the throw. Not in time. An interesting string of events there, as Dakota Thornton drew a throw from Gilbert catcher Jose Bolivar. Bolivar airmailed his second baseman Ryan Meyer. Thornton took off for third and came all the way around to score, and it's now a 5-3 ball game. No shortage of offense in this one. Gotardi now from the windup. The pitch to Herbert on 0-2. Swung on, lifted, fouled off right side. Count stays 0-2. Wind really picking back up, as now it's blowing out to, looks like straightaway right field. Gotardi looking in for a sign from Bolivar. Now ready, the windup and the pitch. Curveball in there. Oh, or maybe not. Definitely looked like strike 3. Generous call there from the home plate umpire for Caleb Herbert. It's 1-2 now. That pitch looked like it was in there for strike 3, the 1-2. Swung on a miss, and now Herbert goes down by way of a strikeout. And there was one away. And now it's center fielder Alec Deaton, who struck out swinging to end the bottom of the first in his first time up. With one away, Connor Cullimore waits on deck. He'll hit next. Deaton lays down a nice bunt in front of the plate. Gotardi jumps on it. The throw to first. Not in time. Alec Deaton. A great bunt out in front of the plate. Gotardi reflexes like a cat to jump on it, but Alec Deaton, speedy like a road runner. Busting it down the line, and he beats out an infield single with one away, and now it's Cullimore. First pitch curveball in there for a strike. Cullimore led off the bottom of the second with a solo home run, his first of the season. Guittardi steps off, throws over, but Deaton back in time. Tigers have some movement in their bullpen down the first base line. Nothing doing for the Hawks. Looks like they've got a lefty brewing as Cullimore lines one down the third base line past a diving Bryce Ulm. Deaton's going to have to stop at second after a big round there. And it's a single for Connor Cullimore, and there are two on and one away for the catcher Tanner Score. In his first at-bat, Tanner Score ended up at third base on an error by the left fielder Brandon Drew. It was a fly ball that got caught up in the wind, and Drew just couldn't put a squeeze on it. Went off the tip of his glove. And a mound visit from Gilbert. It looks like it's going to be it for Justin Guittardi. So a pitching change for Gilbert early. Here in the bottom of the third, we'll have the change for you when we come back. Well, the new pitcher for Gilbert is Jacob Holdridge, the right-hander. He inherits two of the runners that Guittardi put out on base, both singles. He'll face Tanner Score, who takes a ball, and it's 1-0. Holdridge ready and steps off. For Jacob Holdridge on the season, as he looks in for his sign from Boulevard. A 3.92 ERA, 3-1 in 7 appearances. He's started 2 ball games, as it's 2-0 now. Holdridge has pitched in 19 2/3 innings, 19 hits, 15 runs, 11 of those earned. 12 walks, 10 strikeouts. A little bit of a slide piece there, and it's 2-1. Maybe just a two-seam fastball that had a little bit of movement there, but definitely a little bit of horizontal break. They throw back to second, the ball gets away, but Alec Deaton will stay put. Deaton was miles off the second base bag. But Ryan Meyer just couldn't sneak in and put the tag down. Otherwise, they probably would have had Deaton caught like a dead duck. Holdridge sets, delivers inside to score, and it's 3-1. (5-3) Highland. One out here in the bottom of the third. 2 runners on for Tanner's score. Holdridge sets, delivers, swung on and missed, and 3-2 is the count now. Mason Trail, the Highland pitcher, waits on deck. We'll see if the runners take off here on 3-2. They stay put. Inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Now Trail's going to have a chance to help himself out here. 3 runs out there for him to drive home, as Ryland Patterson will come in to run for the catcher's score. That seems to be how things go around here for Scott Cook. Patterson, the normal courtesy runner for score, or whoever's in to catch. And the normal courtesy runner for the pitcher is usually Ryan Casano. But Trail takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Another big gust of wind there. The pitch in there on the low and inside corner from Holdridge, and it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Holdridge from the windup to Mason Trail. The pitch swung on, lifted, foul over the screen and into the parking lot. Count remains 0-2. Well, Mason Trail was the pitcher who gave up the walk-off hit on Tuesday. Wasn't supposed to work in that game, as he was scheduled to start today, as he is doing. Gets away from the catcher. Run's going to come in to score on the drop third strike, and it's a 6-3 ball game. So the second run of the game so far that's come across by way of a drop third strike. And now Bolivar is going to have a conversation with Holdridge, and he'll come back to the plate. Quick little talk in between home plate and the mound. But now it's Connor Webster. Webster with runners on second and third, as Trail actually did not reach first safely because first base was occupied. The rules for drop third strikes: you can attempt to take first base when it is not occupied with no outs or 1 out, and with 2 outs, if there's a drop third strike, it doesn't matter if there's a runner on first. You can try to take the base, as Webster works himself into a 1-1 count. Holdridge working from the windup with a man on third, misses outside there, and it's 2-1. Big gusts of wind now blowing out to straightaway center field. An American flag out there in left center field is dancing out there, back and forth. The 2-1 from Jacob Holdridge in there for a called strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And on second and third for Connor Webster. Webster 1 for 2 on the day, a single and a fly out to left field. Also came around to score in the bottom of the first. Holdridge ready. The 2-2. In the dirt. Runner takes off from third. There's going to be a play at the plate. Save is the call. Connor Cullimore gets in there under the tag of Jacob Holdridge. And it's a 7-3 ball game. It looked like the flip from the catcher Bolivar beat Cullimore to the bag, but Jacob Holdridge couldn't get the tag down on Cullimore in time. Cullimore dives across the plate safely, and Highland now leads by 4. The 3-2 to Connor Webster. Ball 4. And it almost looked like the home plate umpire was going to call strike 3 there, but he must have changed his mind. Ball 4 for Connor Webster, and he's aboard for the second time in the game for with a walk. And now it's Trey Cutchin, as the Hawks all of a sudden are sending their 9th batter of the inning to the plate. Cutchin 0 for 1 with a walk. He's also flown out to left field. First and third, 2 outs for him here. Holdridge misses low, and he's not very happy about it. Expresses his discontent with a little bit of an aggressive catch on the throwback from Bolivar. Count is 1-0. The pitch missed. Actually, no, it didn't miss. Caught the low and inside corner there on the tall Cutchin. And the count is now even at 1-1. Outside, and Bolivar tried to present it to the home plate umpire nicely. Held it there for a couple of seconds, but didn't get the call. It's 2-1. Holdridge sets the pitch. Swung on and grounded into right field by Cutchin. A run comes home. That is Ryland Patterson. And it is now 8-3. An RBI single for Trey Cutchin, and the Hawks have now officially hit around. So if you're keeping score with us at home, go ahead and cross out those inning numbers at the top of your scorecard on the Highland side. You're going to have to write in some new innings, as Lucas Hamza is about to step to the plate for his second at-bat of the inning. Hamza singled and scored to lead off the bottom of the third. He's now got runners on first and second with 2 out, and Holdridge steps off. All of a sudden the wind has died down a little bit. There it goes again. Hamza takes a strike in on the hands, and it's 0-1. If Hams is able to reach, Dakota Thornton waits on deck. As Holdridge looks in for his sign, sets and delivers. Nice curveball in there for his strike. Froze Hamza. Count now 0-2. Hamza swings and misses. Ball gets in the dirt for Bolivar. He picks it up and tags out Hamza for the third out of the inning. So the Hawks make it an 8-3 ball game. They hit around in the inning. 5 runs come across, and they've got a comfortable lead for Mason Trail, who will come out for his 4th inning of work when we come back. Top of the fourth. Hawks take an 8-3 lead out into the field as Drew Hudson, the Tiger right fielder, is at the plate. He fouls one off deep down the right field line, and the count is at 1-1. In his first at-bat, Hudson doubled and came around to score. Oh, goodness gracious. The wind really starting to pick up now. I've got a paperweight on my scorebook up here, and that gust of wind blew the paperweight over. As Hudson grounds one to the shortstop Webster, who fires on to Cutchin at first, and there is one away. Now back to the top of the order for Ryan Meyer, the second baseman. Meyer on the day, 2 strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. On the season, a .214 hitter coming into today. Meyer with 12 hits on the year, 6 runs driven in, 4 doubles. And Meyer quickly in an 0-2 count. In danger of his third strikeout of the ball game. Definitely something you don't want as the leadoff hitter, or anybody for that matter. Oh, he fouls one off the home plate umpire's mask, and manager Scott Cook's going to come out of his dugout. Gilbert's manager Brian Scott is going to come out of his dugout. Check to make sure that our home plate umpire is all right. Went right off the face mask. Fouled off by Ryan Meyer. And we'll have an athletic trainer from the Hawks side come out. Bottle of water as well. It's a difficult thing to do, umpiring any game for that matter. Always a dangerous job. Put yourself behind, in some cases, 95-mile-an-hour pitches that you trust 1 or 2 guys in front of you to either make contact with or catch and keep it from colliding with you. And there, one of those things happened. But unfortunately, it struck the umpire in the mask. He seems to be okay. And we'll get back to the action. So an 0-2 count still here on Ryan Meyer. And we will play ball. Trail the 0-2 on its way. Inside, and it's 1-2. Swung on grounded, foul third base side. And I guess while it's timely, as Meyer grounds one to the shortstop, Webster fires on to Cutchin, and there are 2 away. When I was playing high school baseball, I believe it was my senior year, we were playing a game one morning, and our leadoff hitter was at the plate, and he hit a foul ball right back at the home plate umpire. Caught his arm and actually took some skin off. One of the, honestly and truly, one of the most disgusting things I've seen in my life. I won't paint the picture too much for you. Listening on the live stream, I've got a couple of people around me already telling me to stop. They don't want me to keep going. Long story short, the umpire picked up a bunch of dirt behind the plate, rubbed it on the place where he was missing some skin, and we kept playing. As that one is lifted into right center field by Tyler Morris, and he'll have a 2-out double. Jose Bolivar with an RBI single up the middle as Caleb Herbert tried to make a diving play on it. And it's 8-4 now. And now it's Bryce Olm, the cleanup hitting third baseman. Taking a lot of heat up here, ladies and gentlemen, for telling that story. If you didn't like it, or if you did like it, let us know in the comments below. We are on YouTube. I do have the liberty of saying that. Bryce Olm now. Olm 1 for 1 on the day. Also reached on a walk as well as a single. And he takes a strike there, and it's 0-1. Trail steps off, throws to first. Bolivar back safely. It's an 8-4 ball game. The pitch from Trails swung on and missed by Olm, and it's 0-2. Trail sets the pitch. Inside, but it's to Webster. He'll flip on to Herbert at second base. And the side is retired. Gilbert gets one back. Highland will counter in the bottom half of the fourth when Dakota Thornton starts things off. We'll be right back. Dakota Thornton leading things off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Takes a first pitch curveball low. And it's 1-0. Lots of jokes up here in the press box today. It's a funny afternoon. As Thornton gets into one. Deep center, but the wind won't carry that one out. As it's a routine F8. And Tyler Morris makes the play. And there's one gone here in the bottom of the fourth. Thornton before that at bat had been 2 for 2 on the day with a single and a double. And now it's Caleb Herbert, who's 1 for 2. He's got an RBI double and a strikeout. Holdridge, first pitch curveball, misses for ball 1. 8 hits aside. Fastball caught the outside corner. Count back even at 1. In the inning, Thornton, Herbert, and Deaton set to go for the Hawks. And if anybody reaches base, Connor Cullimore behind Deaton. As now it's 1-2. Holdridge from the windup. Here's the pitch to Herbert. In the dirt and blocked by Bolivar. And Herbert works it back even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Totals thus far, Gilbert 4 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors. For Highland, 8 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. Herbert swings and grounds one right back up the middle. It's a 1-out single for Herbert, and now Alec Deaton will have a chance. Deaton 1 for 2 on the day. He's singled and scored back in the 3rd. That was the 3rd inning in which the Hawks hit around, sent 10 hitters to the plate, and pushed across 5 runs. Herbert on first, always a threat to steal. And Holdridge knows that as he throws over, but Herbert back safely. Base running numbers for Caleb Herbert on the season. 9 stolen bases as Deaton swings and misses. Herbert also the quarterback on the Highland football team, and his profile out on the football field. He likes to pass, but won't shy away from running the ball if he needs to, and he takes off there. Deaton lifts one into left center field, and that's dropping. Herbert's going to get to 3rd. He dives in safely, and Deaton will go into 2nd on the throw. Second and 3rd, a nice piece of situational hitting there by Alec Deaton on the hit and run. And now Connor Cullimore, who's 2 for 2 on the day with a solo home run and a single, will have a chance with 2 men in scoring position. Cullimore has also scored 2 runs in the ball game as well. That hit the 10th one of the ball game. Gilbert brings their infield in. They're going to try to cut off a run at the plate if there's a ground ball in the infield. All Cullimore's got to do is get one through, and you got to think that both the speedy Herbert and Deaton will come home, and now we'll have a mound visit. Brian Scott's going to head out to the mound and have a conversation with Jacob Holdridge as the infield will all convene around the rubber. Nobody warming in the bullpen for Gilbert, so most likely just a situational mound visit to calm Holdridge down a little bit here. Been a couple of tough innings. As now the meeting at the mound is over, they'll head back to their respective positions. And Cullimore will have a chance with the fresh count. Connor with a real chance to be in consideration for the most valuable player in this game. And they're going to intentionally walk Connor Cullimore to get to Tanner's score. So an interesting choice here, as Connor Cullimore has made the Tigers pay twice already. Gilbert elects to put him on and now score as a real chance to make the Tigers pay. Holdridge is going to go from the windup. He steps off. Tanner's score on the day, reached on an error and walked. So still officially 0 for 0, but he scored 2 runs. On the year, score hitting .278. 10 hits on the year, 9 runs batted in, 2 doubles. Gilbert playing at double play depth. First pitch to score misses, and it's 1-0. Brian Scott putting a lot of confidence in his pitcher out there. There is a force anywhere now. But as I mentioned, middle infielders playing back in double play depth. That one's in there for a strike. The corner infielders playing with their toes at the edge of the grass. Count even at 1. The pitch taken low. The runner's going to take off from third. That's Herbert, and he'll come in safely. So a wild pitch nets the Hawks their 9th run of the game, as a leadoff single by Caleb Herbert proves costly, and it is a 9-4 ball game. Cullimore moves into second, and Deaton now moves into third. And now Gilbert will bring their infield back in. The 2-1. Caught the corner up and away. And it's now even at 2-2. Holdridge still going from the windup with the man on third base. The 2-2 on its way. And a foul tip by Score, but Bolivar was able to catch the foul tip, so that's strike 3. And there are 2 away after the strikeout. And now the pitcher, Mason Trail, is 0 for 2 on the day, has a 2-out opportunity to make something of this rally. Trail takes up, and it is 1-0. Trail got the start in left field in Tuesday's ball game. Takes there, now it's 2-0. If Trail were to reach, it would be Connor Webster at the top of the Hawks order next. The 2-0. Taking low, ball 3. Trail looks down for signs from Scott Cook down at the third base line. And as I would have imagined, Trail with the 3-0 take sign there, and it's 3-1. Holdridge ready. Swung on, grounded to the shortstop, Mangonia. He'll fire to first, and the side is retired. But 1 run comes across on the wild pitch. That was Caleb Herbert. The Hawks lead it by 5. We'll head to the top of the 5th inning when we come back. Vicente Cordova leads off the top of the fifth as he's quickly in an 0-1 hole after swinging at a strike from Mason Trail, who's out there for his fifth inning of work. And heads up down the first base line there. That one foul, and it's 0-2. Some movement in the Gilbert bullpen as the right-hander, number 15, Alex Wright, as, hey, Cordova goes down on strikes, and there is one away. Mason Trail has a strikeout working this afternoon. That's his sixth one of the ball game. His first since the third inning. But aside from a little bit of trouble he was getting into early in the game, not much doing for the Tigers. As Justin Mangonia grounds out to Lucas Hamza, and there are two away. Now it's Brandon Drew, the left fielder. Drew 1 for 2 on the day. Oh, scratch that. Pinch hitter for the Tigers. It's the infielder slash right-handed pitcher, Calvin Davis. So Davis takes the at-bat for Brandon Drew. One and one now. Two and one. If Davis were to reach here, it'd be Matthew Manger. He waits on deck, the designated hitter for Gilbert in today's ballgame. Outside, 3-1. Gotta wonder if Trail is, no pun intended, at the end of his trail today. Actually, pun completely intended there. The 3-1. Inside ball 4. And now it's Matthew Manger, who is 0 for 2 on the day, but reached on a drop third strike. Manger on the season came in hitting .214. Now Trail's going to have to work out of the stretch. With 2 away, the pitch lifted into left center. The center fielder, Deaton, makes the play in left center. And that retires the side. So the 2-out walk by Calvin Davis goes by the wayside. Still a 9-4 ball game. The Hawks in the bottom half of the fifth will have Connor Webster to lead things off right after this. Welcome back for lots of jokes up in the booth today, lots of laughter. Welcome back for the bottom of the 5th inning. The Hawks lead the Tigers. It's 9-4. Connor Webster gets us started, and he takes a strike from Jacob Holdridge, who's still out there. It's 0-1. Webster pops one up on the infield. Ryan Meyer out at second base. Battles the wind and makes the play. And there is one away. And now it's the first baseman, Trey Cutchin. Cutchin on the day. 1 for 2. He's singled. He's also flown out, but reached on a walk in the first. Cutchin hit in each of the first 3 innings. How about that? Holdridge, first pitch curveball, missed outside, and it's 1-0. The off-speed pitch hasn't really been there for Holdridge when he's needed it. He's been able to drop a couple of nice curveballs in there for strikes, but when he's needed strikeouts, he hasn't been able to get it. There it's a fastball, and Cutchin squared around to bunt, pulls back, but takes a strike. Count even at 1. Holdridge shakes Bolivar off, now ready. Inside to Cutchin, and it is 2-1. Lucas Hamza on deck. Hamza 1 for 3 on the day. But for now, it's Cutchin. The 2-1 on its way. Taken up and away. Cutchin able to hold back. Looked like he wanted to go after that one, but shows some patience there, and it's 3-1. The wind has not let up in this one. Cutchin swings and grounds one through the right side of the infield. And it's a 1-out single. And now it's Lucas Hamza. Hamza a double, a strikeout and a line-out on the day. Hamza, another one of those stalemates. That's not the right word. One of the regulars in the Highland lineup, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. As Holdridge drops in a curveball for strike 1. Hamza hitting .260 on the year. It's cooled down as of late. 30 hits on the season, 25 runs batted in. Actually, 19 hits on the season, 15 runs batted in. Oh, and they almost got Cutchin there as he dives back in safely. Anyway, the count is 1-1 to Lucas Hamza. We're getting all sorts of off track up here. Holdridge sets the 1-1. Curveball missed up. And you got to think if that curveball would have been out over the plate a little bit more, hung up maybe a little bit longer, that Hamza might have been able to put a tattoo on it. The 2-1. Runner takes off, fouled off left side, no room into the Hawks dugout. And now it's 2-2. Well, for the Hawks, they're still looking for their 3rd victory of the season. Haven't won a ball game in a while. Their last game that they exited with a victory was against Westview. That was here at home. As that one gets behind Hamza, almost hit him in the back. He had to duck out of the way of it. It bounces away, and Cutchin gets second base. Count is now full at 3-2. Got to think with that, the trouble that Holdridge has been having with his curveball command. Got to think of fastball here on 3-2. Swung on, popped up, foul territory. No room for the first baseman Cordova, and it is into the Gilbert bullpen. Count stays full. Aldridge looking in for his sign from Boulevard. Sets now. And another foul ball lifted behind the screen. Ball game. Hawks leading the crosstown rival Gilbert Tigers. 9 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Hawks in the ball game. 4 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors for Gilbert. 3-2 swung on a miss by Hamza, and he goes down by way of a strikeout for the second straight at bat. And now it's Dakota Thornton with a man on second and 2 away. Thornton led off the 4th inning with a loud fly out to center field. Looked like it was going to get out over the batter's eye, but the wind couldn't carry it over. 370 out to center field here at Hawks Field. Thornton swings and ropes one into center field there, and that's a base hit. They're going to send Cutchin around third. He will score easily. And an RBI single by Dakota Thornton makes it a 10-4 ball game. Dakota Thornton has been something else this season. He really has. Thornton committed to Benedictine University in Mesa, Arizona, not too far away from here at Highland. We're getting a good player over there. Thornton 3 for 4 on the day after coming off a game where he had 3 homers, as Caleb Herbert quickly grounds one to the third baseman, Bryce Holm. And the side is retired, but not before an RBI single by Dakota Thornton. It's a 10-4 ball game. We'll be right back. Top of the 6th as Drew Hudson, the leadoff man, drops down a bunt down the third base line, and he'll beat it out. Lucas Hamza was playing back there. And then it's an infield single to lead things off for the Tigers in the top of the 6th. Back to the top of the order for Ryan Meyer. Meyer 0 for 3 on the day. 2 strikeouts, one of the swinging variety and one of the looking variety. He's also grounded out today. Takes a strike there, and it's 0-1. Curveball from Trail, a nice one at that, and it's 0-2. Froze Meyer. Trail sets. The 0-2. Swung on, lifted. Foul territory right side, and it's out of play. Mason Trail on the day. Very underrated performance. He's given up 4 runs on the day, but he's been able to keep the lead, something that the Hawks have had a little bit of difficulty doing this year. They've gotten out to sizable leads in games. Hawks pitchers have given those leads up, but Trail today has been very good against the rival Tigers. As that one's fouled away. Action in the Tiger bullpen again, and a new right-hander up, Justin Magana. Magana listed on the roster as a shortstop, second baseman, and right-handed pitcher, a senior. Trail fires over to first, but Hudson back safely. Magana possibly coming in to work the bottom of the 6th. Try to keep the Hawks, if the Tigers don't score here, at a 6-run lead, but Meyer lifts one into left field, and it's caught by Cullimore, and there is one away. Now it's Tyler Morris, the center fielder. Morris 3 for 3 on the day. Very quiet, however, has only come around to score once. A single in the first, a single in the second, and a double in the fourth. So the on-base percentage has been there for Morris, but the Tigers just haven't been able to bring him around. Trail's first pitch in there for a strike. Swung on a miss by Morris. 6 strikeouts in the ball game for Mason Trail, possibly a 7th here. Drew Hudson on first takes his lead. Mason Trail sets. The 0-2. Swung on a missed. Strikeout number 7 for Mason Trail. And there are 2 away. Trail has just been cruising. And now it's the catcher, Jose Bolivar. Bolivar quiet as well. 1 for 3 on the day. He singled back in the 4th. But otherwise, a strikeout looking and a flyout. Movement in the Hawks bullpen as Bolivar swings and misses, and Trail really on a groove here. Low and outside, and it's 1-1. So Hunt fouled off. In the bullpen for Highland, it looks like it's number 8. But number 8 is Drew Woody, and Woody, I'm almost certain, is left-handed. Ah, it's number 9. Thank you, Mr. Statistician Jeff Griffith. There's a reason I wear glasses up here. Apparently they don't work very well. But number 9 in the bullpen, and that's Ethan Caudillo. Caudillo likely to be called upon in the top of the 7th to end the ball game. That one pops off of Score's glove. Ooh, did that catch him in the wrist? Possibly. And even with my headset on up here in the press box, you can hear that one connect and score, grabbing towards his left wrist. And now Scott Cook is going to come out and have a word. Looks like Score might take some warm-up pitches here to make sure that his wrist or his hand or what be it is okay. Oh, no, he won't. So Bolivar steps back in. A 2-2 count with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Trail sets. Count is actually full at 3-2. The pitch fouled off. And with the full count, the runner on first, Hudson, took off for second. He will do the same here. The payoff pitch. In there, called strike 3. Mason Trail, 8 strikeouts in the ball game, and he is through 6 strong innings. The Hawks lead at 10-4. They'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Alec Deaton will lead things off when we come back. Bottom of the 6th as Alec Deaton steps in to start things off for Highland. They lead by 6. And it's a new pitcher for Gilbert, and quickly Alec Deaton drops one down and reaches on an infield single. The new pitcher in the ballgame, Justin Magana. And he's quickly greeted with a bunt single by Alec Deaton. That's Deaton's 2nd bunt single of the ballgame. Some numbers on Justin Magana. A A 3.89 ERA on the year, a 1-0 record. He's appeared in 7 ball games. Just 9 innings pitched. He's allowed 9 hits, 5 runs, all of which earned. He's also walked 5 and struck out 10. He's faced 42 batters coming into this one. He throws over, and Deaton's back safely. Connor Cullimore at the plate now. He's ahead 1-0. Pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Watch out, parents. Magana sets the pitch. This is away. And, you know, ladies and gentlemen, you got to wonder, it looks like Justin Magana out there on the mound, something shiny on the top of his cap. Not sure if it's the emblem on the hat or if he's got a pair of sunglasses up there as Cullimore swings and fouls one off. But Magana definitely does have a pair of sunglasses up there on the top of his hat. And AIA baseball rules state that when you go in to pitch, can't have anything distracting on your arms or on your head. Oh goodness, a high strike taken by Connor Cullimore up at the shoulders. A very generous strike 3 called there. And Magana off the hook after going down 2-2. And there's one away. Goodness gracious. And now a time called as we're going to have a pinch hitter. Number 21, Kyle Conway, was out on deck for Tanner Score, but Scott Cook has pulled Conway back. And out to hit is Tanner Score. And they're allowing warm-up pitches to be thrown by Magana. Kind of interesting there. The action stopped for maybe 30 seconds. Wouldn't think that your arm gets cold in 30 seconds, but I'm not the one down on the field umpiring today's ball game. I'm just calling it for you folks at home. As Magana throws back to first, and Deaton is back safely. So it is Tanner Score at the plate after Scott Cook pulls back Kyle Conway. Magana set the pitch, and therefore a strike right down the heart of the plate. 10 runs, 13 hits for Highland in this one. And now, after already facing 2 batters in the inning, Justin Magana finally asked to take those sunglasses off of his hat. Somebody finally caught it. 0-1 to Tanner Score. Missed outside with a breaking ball, and it's 1-1. Magana there as he received the ball back from Bolivar. Kind of a little bit of a head tilt, like, we try with that pitch. Possibly threw that curveball there to see if Score would go after it. A 1-1 in there for a strike, and it's 1-2, a high fastball. And now Score in a 1-2 hole. The pitch, runner goes, swung, and it was like a swinging bunt. And Score almost beat it out, but doesn't. Bryce Olm, who the Hawks have bunted on time and time again this afternoon, makes a nice barehanded play, throws on to first. And there are 2 away. And now it's Kyle Conway, who's going to pinch hit for Mason Trail. So maybe a little bit of confusion in the dugout as Magana misses up with the curveball. It's 1-0. It's very possible that Conway thought that trail spot was 8th in the order and not 9th, as he takes a strike there, and it's 1-1. Magana looking in. And he sets the 1-1. Swung on, ripped into left field, a base hit. They're going to send Deaton around third. The throw cut off by Oman. Deaton in safely. Conway digging for second. The throw from Bolivar gets away from the second baseman. And what a string of events there, as Kyle Conway ripped a single into left field. Looked like the Tigers were going to have a play on Deaton at the plate. But Bryce Ohm elected to try to cut the throw off. Went off the tip of his glove. Trickled over to Jose Bolivar, and as soon as the ball trickled away from Ohm, Conway tried to take second. The throw from Bolivar was offline, as the second baseman Meyer couldn't handle it. And just like that, Conway and Deaton trade places. It's an 11-4 ball game. And now it's back to the top of the order for Connor Webster. Breaking ball misses, and it is 1-1. Well, for Kyle Conway on the year, they use him mainly as a pitcher. But at the plate, Conway showing that he can make a difference there as well, as Webster takes a strike, and it's 1-2. Conway on the season, as Webster lifts one into right center field. And it's Morris who makes the play, and the sign is retired. That was Kyle Conway's first at-bat of the season, so 1-for-1 on the year for Conway. It's an RBI single, and it's 11-4 Hawks as we head to the top of the 7th. We'll see who comes on to pitch. I'll be right back. It's Ethan Caudillo who will come in to close the ball game out. And Bryce Olm, the cleanup hitting third baseman, is the first man to meet him. It's quickly 2-0. As Caudillo sets and delivers, swung on by Olm, lifted into center field. The new center fielder, Drew Woody, is there, and he makes the play. Well, the baseball always finds a new guy out on the field, and it did there. As the fly out to center, retires Bryce Olm. Now it's Vicente Cordova, as the Tigers have 2 more outs to put 7 more runs up on the board. And while it's a pinch hitter, hitting for Vicente Cordova, it's number 13, Robert Weeks. Weeks, a junior, outfielder / right-handed pitcher. And he takes a ball there from Caudillo, and it's 1-0. Eleven to 4 Hawks here in the top of the 7th. Caudillo catches the outer corner, and it's 1-1. Caudillo didn't appear in Tuesday's game. On the year, however, Caudillo a 5.87 ERA, 0-3 in 9 appearances. Ground ball to the shortstop, Webster on to first, and there are 2 away. The Hawks 1 out away from their 3rd victory of the season. Ethan Caudillo on the year. No saves. Well, this wouldn't be a save opportunity. But in late game situations, seems like he hasn't been put in much. He misses there for ball 1 to Justin Mangonia, who's the last hope for Gilbert. And now it's 2-0 as Caudillo missed with a fastball. Caudillo, a guy who likes to work quickly, gets his sign, sets, and delivers. Inside, but it caught the edge. And it's 2-1. Two on inside, 3-1 now. A 3-1 from Caudillo on its way. Inside ball 4. Oh, check that. Caught the inside edge of the zone. The count is full. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. So the home plate umpire made things interesting there. As now a runner on first after the walk. And it's Calvin Davis who came in the 5th inning to pinch hit for the left fielder Brandon Drew. He'll take his 2nd at-bat as Caudillo steps off. Caudillo's ready now. The pitch. Inside. 1-0. Strike 1. Caudillo looking in for his sign from Deaton. The new catcher sets. Swung on, grounded left side. Webster's going to have to make a nice play. Throws across his body. And not in time to get Calvin Davis. A good job by Trey Cutchin to keep that ball in front of him. It was in the dirt. And the sun setting behind us here. Possibly getting in Cutchin's eyes there. Couldn't track the ball. But he stays in front of it, and it's 1st and 2nd now, 2 away. And another pinch hitter on for the Tigers. It's Eli Young. He'll hit for Matthew Manger. Swung on, fouled off. Young just missed one there. one misses. And the count is even at 1. Caudillo back on the rubber, looks in for his sign from Deaton. He sets the pitch. Low ball 2. The Hawks just need 1 here. Missed inside, 3-1. Caudillo sets. Swung on, fouled off, 3-2 now. The runners will move with the pitch. Eli Young trying to keep things alive for the Tigers. Ethan Caudillo trying to send Hawks fans home happy. Eli Young, a big guy in there as well, as a catcher and an infielder. The pitch swung on, fouled off right side, and we'll do it again. On the season, Eli Young, just 3 plate appearances, 2 at-bats. He's 1 for 2, and he misses outside there, and it's ball 4. So now the base is loaded, and it's Drew Hudson. Hudson, his last time up, singled. That was to start off the 6th inning. He's got a bases loaded opportunity here with 2 outs. Caudillo in some trouble here in the top of the 7th. That one over Hudson's head. And Scott Cook is going to come out to talk to Caudillo, who's having trouble getting the final out of the game. Caudillo's been in trouble before. See if this mound visit from Cook helps out. And the meeting is finished out there. We'll head back to the action. Drew Hudson at the plate with the bases loaded. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Forced at any base here. Caudillo sets and steps off. And now we are ready to go. Caudillo sets. In there for a strike. Count even at 1-1. Hawks looking for their 3rd victory of the year. 1 out away from it. Bases loaded. Caudillo's pitch. And it hit Hudson. So the hit by pitch brings in a run. It's a 6-run ball game, 11-5. And now back to the top of the order for Gilbert, which might be a good sign for Ethan Caudillo because Ryan Meyer is 0 for 4 on the day. And now Cook is going to come out. And we very well could have a pitching change here. So the Hawks can get the last out of the inning, and we will. So Caudillo, 2/3 of an inning. We'll have the pitching change for you. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Bases loaded for the Tigers. They trail by 6. We'll be right back. It's Tanner's score to get the last out of the ball game. He's called on by Scott Cook here. In an 11-5 ball game, he'll face Ryan Meyer. First pitch from Score in there for a strike. Score looking in for his sign from Deaton. The 0-1. Fouled off, strike 2. And now the Hawks 1 strike away. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Score versus Meyer, the pitch. Swung on, fouled off. And Meyer's elbow guard came off there. He swung so hard, trying to take one over the fence. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Score ready. Here it is. Swung on, lifted, foul right side, and the Hawks stay alive. Flock of birds flying over the field. As Score looks in again, we'll do it on 0-2 for the 3rd time. The pitch swung on and missed, and the Hawks win it. Tanner Score called on for the final out of the game. He gets Meyer to strike out swinging, and the Hawks, for the 3rd time this season, are victorious. The finals for today's game for the Gilbert Tigers: 5 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors in the ball game. For the Highland Hawks, 11 runs, 14 hits, and 1 error. So the Hawks, after losing quite a few in a row, are able to stretch across a win. Great ball game today from a number of Hawks. Connor Cullimore had a solo home run, singled back in the 3rd. Tanner Score reached twice and scored twice as well. Dakota Thornton, however, 3 for 4 on the day. 2 singles, a double, and a run scored. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night is the next matchup for the Highland Hawks. We'll be back here at home against the Mountain Point Pride. That ball game is at 4 o'clock p.m. Make sure you join us right back here for another exciting ball game. Well, for my producer, Bella Cisneros, for Jeff Griffith, Alicia Holman, and Denise Gonzalez, my name is Jordan Lank. We thank you all for joining us tonight. Again, the Hawks win 11-5. Have a good one, everybody.